Eli Hinton back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed the shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin.
He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak and visit victory lane. And the whole field just needs to get himself slowed down hot in these curves. Up and over. There's Zach Buchanan running a tad wide. Great restart here for the 2 car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over. Down into turn 1. There goes the tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13 car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2.
They say everything's bigger in Texas, and after a week of short track racing in Martinsville, Virginia last week, we enter for round 5 of the 2019 Outsider Racing League Cup Series, and we're here at Texas Motor Speedway. And this 1.5-mile racetrack is known for having really tight corner exits, high banking, and lots of calamity. And our evening tonight is going to take us over 140 laps into tonight's event. So, Finian, tonight for the Outsider Racing League, after short track racing last week, there were some people that were a little upset with each other. Now, do we think we're going to see something like that this week again on a bigger racetrack?
I think we might. I think especially with this package the way it is and guys being close to each other, it's very easy to cut off someone and ruin their momentum, which is all what this sort of racing has become about with the new Aero package in the Cup Series. And this is the first time we're really going to see that 1.5 mile track.
Qualifying underway here already, and drivers are on the racetrack right now. There's Josiah Vincent. He's got a bright green number 4 on the side of his machine. In tonight, we have 5 drivers that are going to be members of the Dash for Cash, and they are Jeff Wright in the number 48, Alex Bell in the number 15, Josiah Vincent in the number 4, Jeremiah Vincent in the 8, and the 18 of Alec Martinez. Those drivers are going for a little cash bonus at the end of the night. We'll see if they can take care of that after 140 laps. Now remember, we have to finish under green for them to be able to get that cash.
Yeah, Andy, and that's going to be the big caveat to this. Though I do expect tonight to be relatively clean. Again, we'll have to kind of see. I feel like usually the older version of Texas is a little bit more chaotic, especially with that turn 2 wall. Could really catch people off guard.
So Josiah Vince is working his way around the course right now. There's another one of the Dash for Cash drivers, the 15 of Alex Bell. Remember, he was actually about to win the Dash for Cash at Daytona in round number 1, and unfortunately, there was a caution to end the race that he didn't get to capitalize. We'll see if he can try to go for a repeat here and actually pick up the cash this time through.
You're currently 16th on the charts. We'll see if he's going to put in a second lap.
He looks like he's backed it down. Here's Elliot Butler's number 6, so he did jump up to 4th. 40 seconds left in qualifying, and look at the Dash for Cash drivers, 3 of the top 4 right now, so those guys are looking good. A new driver this week, Tim Downey Jr. in the number 25, sitting in 6th. And there was a couple of drivers last week that were a little bit disgruntled after the conclusion of the race. Zach Halpern in the number 20 being one of them. Currently, he is sitting in 17th, and we'll see if any of those grudges he had from last week will carry over into this week's race.
Yeah, indeed, and as he comes across the line with 15 seconds left in the session, he's going to end up 7th.
Good run for him. And qualifying complete here, and it looks like it's going to be the 22 of Mark Emerson sitting on the pole for tonight's race. And he won a few weeks ago at Auto Club Speedway. Bailey Turner in the 24 was also competitive there. Jordan Ashland and others up towards the front. Finian, we've seen some competitive racing on the 1.5 mile racetracks with this new downforce package. What are we expecting here at Texas?
We're going to see a lot of that chaotic style pack racing you see on NASCAR in these last few weeks with this newer package. We're going to see a lot of that here tonight. These guys are going to be pretty much almost 3 wide going to turn 1 and pretty much for the first few laps. And we're going to start seeing them spread out a little bit as the momentum changes.
Take a look at our point standings after last week's race, and we'll jump ahead to the front page here and take a look. Jeff Wright on top, Mark Emerson in 2nd, Elliot Butler in 3rd, up 5 spots after Martinsville. Alex Bell up a couple. Bailey Turner dropped a few. Eli Hinton did as well, with kind of a messy ending to that race at Martinsville. But Alec Martinez, a Dash for Cash driver, sitting in 10th right now, tied for 9th with Adam Cabot. We'll see if he can get himself into victory lane today. But right now, the point's still really close up front. A lot of drivers are tied for spots, Finian. It's really tight right now.
Yeah, I would say, and it's quite impressive considering we're 4 rounds in. Usually, after the first round or 2, you expect guys to still see guys tied, but even after 4 rounds, guys, still being tied. This shows you how close that this championship is.
Reggie Ortega, last week's winner, was a very popular win last week. Had lots of congrats, but we'll see if he can get things done this time around. And I'm really curious to see how the drafting package is going to work out. And we'll see if that number 2 Hertz Camaro can go 2 for 2 in the last couple weeks.
You can see on the screen there are a lot of Camaros surrounding that Camry.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Eli Hinton, and Hinton ran pretty well last week, but ended up having a bad night to finish off the night after getting turned in the closing lap. So we'll see if he can rebound. Jordan Ashton, we'll talk to him later tonight. He'll be our in-race reporter, that Alpine Stars number 27 Camaro.
You can also have to keep an eye and always on that 48 of Jeff Wright, newcomer to this series, our current points leader. He's going to be really strong. Got to keep an eye on him.
Take a look at our starting lineup as we wait for the field to get rolling off. On the front row, Mark Emerson in his Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in the number 22, alongside Bailey Turner in the number 24. He'll be starting the outside of the front row.
Moving back to row 2, we got Jordan Ashland starting in third. Outside him will be Jeremiah Vincent in the 8-car Chevy Camaro.
Jeremiah's another one of those Dash for Cash drivers with the green on the side, and so is Jeff Wright starting in 5th and Alex Bell starting in 6th. Both those drivers running for the extra cash bonus at the end of the night.
Moving on back to row number 4, Zach Halpern in the 20 Toyota Camry. 7th, outside him, Jerry Miller has made a good qualifying effort in the 30 car.
And returned to Outsiders action. Justin Rodden in the 0-1, starting in 9th alongside Elliot Butler in the number 6. Butler up a bunch of spots last week in the points. We'll see if he can continue.
And we'll let the rest of the grid order line up on the bottom as we're halfway through the pace lap. Yeah, really, I think a lot of these guys are anticipating this is going to be the first time they're racing together on a 1.5 miles for points. We've seen them race at Auto Club. That was kind of a, getting used to this package, but here is really the true test. This is what most of the tracks on the schedule are like.
We go to Kansas next week, so this will probably be a decent test. I know I don't think you can find 2 ovals that are farther apart than Texas and Kansas, but it's still the same package. Yeah. It's still the same kind of racing, so we're going to get to see a little bit of how that's going to work here tonight. Pace car is going to roll off, that Ford F500 pace car leading the field. And Mark Emerson, Auto Club winner, is going to lead them back down to the green flag. We're racing here at Texas.
There you see Emerson get a great start as they come across the line. Bailey Turner, not so much. He's going to fall in behind Mark Emerson as they fan off into turn 1. You already see these guys get separated, but that's not going to last too long.
Reggie Ortega on the outside. He's following the 4 of Josiah Vincent. Vincent in that Dash for Cash. We'll see if he can move his way forward. You see Robert Gaba slotting in line up there. And there's the number 48 of Jeff Wright looking to the inside of Jordan Ashland down the back straight.
You can already see these guys now 3 wide almost for 4th place. You see Alex Bell running the high lane. And in the middle, that is Jordan Ashland.
We saw some people trying the high lane in practice, and look at Mark Emerson dragging the tires through the dirt on the front straightaway first lap through. Alex Bell trying to fake out Ashland as they get down to turn number 1. We'll have to go around the outside. We did see some people playing with an outside lane, and it might have some speed up there.
Indeed. Pretty calm start so far for this race. Only a little.
Whoa! Butler in the fence on the back straightaway.
And as I say that, Butler getting the wall. You still see that turn 2, still catching some drivers off guard. Doesn't look like the cars do damage, just a slight little kiss.
Not the way you want to start your race tonight, though. We're 3 wide mid-pack here up the road. I saw the 27 scrape the wall. He's got some right front damage as well.
He hit that pretty hard, and he's losing some momentum. And here comes the 48 and the 15 on the inside.
Close racing here early. There's Zach Halpern in the 20. Some scores to settle inside that cockpit and inside that helmet. He was a little hot after last week's conclusion at Martinsville Speedway, which resulted in the 2-car of Reggie Ortega visiting victory lane. There's Justin Rodden in the 0-1 tucking you to the inside.
Hey, look at Halpern. He looks almost off the pace. I'm not sure just because if he's stuck in the outside lane or if he's starting to fall back.
Well, he started in 7th, so he's pretty much where he started. One of our other Dash for Cash drivers we mentioned, Alec Martinez, number 18, running an interstate battery scheme this week. Good-looking car.
That looks hot.
We were just discussing the other day about how awful the current real world
that's what they need to run on the car. Whoa, we see some
smoke up ahead. It's Butler again, slow out of the corner. I think it was him. There's Chris Parkman in the 19 on the inside lane, and there's that 20 car Finney. Maybe he is starting to drop back a bit. But up front, though, nose to tail, Bailey Turner is all over Emerson and not letting him get away.
Yeah, Bailey Turner in both BRL and Outsider Racing, he's been very consistent up toward the front of the field. Just hasn't been able to get that win in. You see him started in 2nd, currently running in 2nd and all over that 22.
And they've kind of broken away a bit from Jeremiah Vincent in the number 8 car.
Someone spinning to the inside on the apron there.
Let's see.
Gabo.
Gabba in the 75 car. He's on the apron.
Yeah, and there's no one around him, and he's off the track, so no caution will come out. It's a tough break for him.
Left front and right front damage. And Reggie Ortega, it looks like he's lost connection. Oh, he's back now. There's connection issues there. And take a look at how this happened. Right in front of Eli Hinton in the 13. Come up off of turn 2. And just gets into the wall and just crashes. I don't know what to tell you for that one, Penny.
Yeah, that was an interesting wreck. I'm surprised he hit the wall there, but I guess miscalculated and unfortunately ended up there. But meanwhile, back for third place, there's still a little bit of side-by-side between the 8 of Vincent and Jeff Wright, but still Bailey Turner is trailing Mark Emerson. But I think he's gonna realize that he's gonna have a lot of trouble trying to get around him.
Mentioned the side-by-side, Jeff Wright going up the racetrack, trying the high lane a little bit. And just behind there is Alex Bell. He's got Jordan Ashland charging up the outside lane. Ashland's going to take that spot, it looks like.
And the 23 there.
That is... Oh, that's a custom number. That's going to throw me off.
Oh, I see. Okay.
that should... They got to fix that, because that's going to make my life difficult.
So
I think it's Jeremy Miller.
Yeah, so it's Jeremy Miller, who's officially entered in the 30, but he has a 23 on the door.
Yeah, that's got to get fixed because that's going to confuse the heck out of everybody. So it's 30 on the timing and scoring and 23 on the door, but they need to get the numbers matching the cars. Otherwise, we're going to have a really hard time calling the race. Looking on back, Eli Hinton in the 11th spot after starting in 15th. So he's climbed up 4 spots. Look at this battle behind, though. Elliot Butler on the outside. He's been dropping a few spots, but he's got Josiah Vincent and Joshua Banks. But Banks' internet's been really sketchy so far. Don't know if it's going to last the night.
Yeah, that's honestly, it sucks because that's probably the worst part of his I guess, career. I'm trying to figure, I can't find the word to say, but the worst part about it is that his internet is just unreliable. He's a good driver. He's pretty consistent, and when he qualifies well, he usually races well, but this internet has just been killing him time and time again.
There's a couple people in here that have internet that is less than good, and Reggie Ortega has been one of them, and sitting in 21st. He started in 16th, so it's been a slide back for Clifton Cockrell in the 16th, and Alex Martinez has not climbed up as high as I would have thought. 5 spots early, but 5 relatively easy to get spots.
And here's the thing, too, is that you could, I think really with this package, you need to qualify because I think we've seen that you can definitely pass. You can definitely pass, but it's a very slow process compared to how it used to be. You can't just blow on by people.
Joshua Banks I think is pulling off. I think he's realizes he's got a problem.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean you got to solve that. Otherwise, it's not going to be a very fun night. But here's Yusuf Ghali, the number 1, all over Josiah Vincent. But up for second though, battle, and look at Jeremiah Vincent. He's coming up to fight in that Cobalt number 8 Chevrolet around the inside of Bailey Turner's number 24 Exalta Chevrolet.
And just can't get it done. Turner's going to have a run on the outside, but Vincent might have it on the inside. We'll see here who's going to win out. And it looks like Vincent's going to hold it for now, but Bailey Turner's going to build up a run. Meanwhile, here's a battle between the 23 of Jeremy Miller and the 27 of Jordan Ashland.
I would just call it the 30. We're gonna
call it the 30?
Yeah,
all right.
That's what's on the scoring, on the timing and scoring, so that's what we're going to call it. So 30 is the 23. We're just going to confuse ourselves too much if we keep referring it to as one or the other. Justin Rodden on the inside of Alex Bell. Bell looked like has he slid backwards from the beginning? Only 1 spot, so I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah, he's mostly remained stationary as well as Halpern. He did fall back to 9th from, I believe, starting spot of 7th, and hasn't been able to move back forward. Chris Parkman in the 19, I think he's moved up. I feel like he's moved up a few spots. Could just be losing it.
Chris Parkman in the number 19 started 13th. Oh, a little bit of a gaggle going on here. Justin Rodden. Jordan Ashland in the 27. He's kind of been up and down. Started third, running 7th, and a slip by the 0-1 on the inside. Lost the nose.
And here comes Halpern with a run.
Big push. And he's driving angry after last week for sure. But here's Eli Hinton now charging up on this mix.
And remember last week, Hinton and Halpern, they weren't the most happiest with each other, and there you see Gables on the apron, but 13 and 20 had a bit of a disagreement last week, so let's see if it boils over into this week as they're right now pretty much next to each other.
I love this drunk having still a whole race from this thing. Up on top of the racetrack, the 19 of Parkman looking to the inside on the 0-1. Don't think he's got enough of a run, but Rodden's going to get a run on Ashland here. Might look to the inside by the time we get down to turn 3. A pop out for position going on back here. Look at this. That's the 14 of Bruce Boyer and the 1 of Yusuf Ghali fighting.
Indeed, Ghali slowly moving up the order. I believe starting 18th, so currently up to 15th for him. Trying to gain 1 more spot as he's on the inside of Eddie Trejo, but here we see Parkman and Halpern.
There's battles all over the racetrack right now. This has been extremely competitive to start tonight. There was some discussion over how this package was going to race. Well, pretty competitively it looks like, but it seems like it's difficult to pass. It's easy to get alongside. You see Rod in there. I slipped again. They're going to split him 3 wide on the back straight, going off into turn 3.
And again, I sound like a stuck record saying this, but this package, it's all about momentum. You saw right there, Rodden had to get out of the throttle to make sure he didn't get into Ashland. Lost some momentum, and he's still suffering from it because here comes Eli Hinton to the inside.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that this package really penalizes you for being offensive. If you make a move and it doesn't work out, you're going to go backwards quick. So if you're going to make a move, you better be sure it's going to stick.
And Hinton and Rodden side by side.
They're side by side all over the racetrack. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to show you picture in picture, but I don't have that option.
Up ahead of them, Halpern and Ashley now side by side. Ooh,
they
almost
use each other up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned. Kind of not concerned about the Halpern, that radiator on that nose. That was a pretty decent lick that he had with Rod, and it kind of busted the nose in. So it cannot. I mean, only he really
trivial.
knows.
He hit it pretty hard, and there is some crinkle there. It's certainly going to hurt his aero performance. We know how aero sensitive these cars can be.
Yeah, especially with this package. Every little bit counts, and you see Ashley now. He's lost a spot to Parkman. Now Ashland's now starting to fall back a little bit.
Yeah. Down 6 spots since the beginning of the race. So just behind, here's Elliott Butler and Eddie Trejo side by side.
Who up in second though, side by side, Jeremiah and Jeff Wright. They're fighting for a spot.
Yeah, Jeff Wright is not giving this away, but they both tracked back down the leader, Mark Emerson. So Emerson's lead has dwindled down about 1/10 of a second. The humidity must be really high here. It's not going to show correctly.
Oh, and here comes Vincent now to the inside of Emerson. He might win this battle.
Door to door, but will the outside line prevail here on corner exit? I don't think Emerson's going to be long enough alongside to make it work. And to the lead, Jeremiah Vincent in the number 8.
Yeah, Mark Emerson's got to run on the outside. I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, I think when they get down to turn 1 here.
And here comes now Jeff Wright to the inside of Emerson. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get it done. I think what I'm starting to see, and I think this is just due to the nature of the corners, is that it's a lot better to make the pass on the inside in turn 3 and 4, but on the but in turns 1 and 2, you want to use the outside.
Emerson taking a look, but can't quite get it done. Jeff Wright now under attack from Bailey Turner, and Turner actually started in second, so he's slipped a few spots since the beginning.
Yeah, he did fall back into 4th place, but has remained with the lead pack of these 4 cars you see on screen. So it's definitely in the mix. I mean, as well as all these guys. I'm really curious as this run goes on, because it looks like we're going to have a pretty solid run.
Yeah.
Knock on wood here.
It's not wood, but all right.
Close enough. Closest thing I have. But I'm curious in seeing how the leaders are going to try to stick with each other.
There's an absolute gaggle going on around Alec Martinez in the 18. This is all back here for 15th place. That's Josiah Vincent leading this group. Look at this fight here, Finian. This is great.
Yeah, it looks like, I wouldn't say that Josiah Vincent's holding these guys up, but they all kind of bunched up behind him.
Sorry, going to interrupt you for the lead. Mark Emerson back to the inside.
Yeah, that's just how it goes here. These guys are going back and forth with each other. Now here comes Jeff Wright to the inside of the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent. That's going to be for second place, and now Wright's going to have a chance to fight for the lead.
This looks really competitive out here. This is probably the most competitive race I've seen with this new package on an oval, Finian.
I was going to say, I think this is what NASCAR
wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great stuff, and I don't know how it feels inside the race car, but it looks like these guys can pass pretty easily. I mean, we've seen a couple drivers come up quite a few spots since the start.
Yeah, I think it really just takes guys who are easy on their equipment, be able to build up runs and just work with the draft to try to slowly work their way up to the front and not abuse their stuff. But I think the guys that we're seeing really drive hard. I think they start to get penalized a lot more. And Wright trying the outside lane.
I'm seeing multiple grooves kind of coming into play here a bit. We've seen Mark Emerson kind of lose a spot, then gain it back. So it's been extremely competitive. The draft seems to be effective. We do have Josiah Vincent was really slow out of turn 4. And he is sliding backwards. Alec Martinez has gotten around. And remember, I said Alec Martinez's progress was slow? I'm going to make a correction. He's gone 28th to 15th in 23 laps. Good climb forward for him.
So Martinez is doing well, slowly moving his way up towards the front of the field. And he's currently got, I think, but definitely if he wants to get to the really front of the field, I think he's going to need a caution. These guys have gotten relatively spread out.
Bailey Turner was looking for second on Jeff Wright, and this is such an interesting thing here. We saw Emerson drop back a spot. We've seen Bailey Turner drop back a spot, but they both gained them back.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's some tire saving going on here potentially. Maybe do they think they're going for a long run? I mean, I'm not sure.
I think a little bit of tire saving, but also I think it has to do with these guys. Once they get past, working with the draft, try to build up a run, then initiate a pass. And that's going to be key here. You see Halpern, he moved himself back into 7th place.
It's just, it seems like people have made spots and lost them, and then gained, or lost spots and gained it back. It seems like people haven't been super consistent over the course of a run.
And here you see Halpern with a big run on Jeremy Miller, just not able to get the make the move in time.
One lonely Ford out there, it looks like. Might be another one somewhere, but I just sell the one.
Yusuf Ghali used to be in a Ford. I don't know why he switched over to Chevy. It's not like we needed more of them.
Yeah. Reggie Ortega is not having a great run after winning last week. He started 16th. He's fallen to 24th, so something's going on inside that car that he for sure doesn't like, but you see just ahead. There's Adam Cabot in the 77. This is a guy that I've expected to see in Victory Circle a couple times this year. Haven't quite seen him at his full potential.
Yeah, he was really hot at the beginning of the season. Kind of suffered last week, lost 5 positions in the points. But
out of turn 2.
That got close. And here comes Rodden now to the inside. Or sorry, not Rodden. Eddie Trejo to the inside.
He used up Elliot Butler on corner exit there. I almost got together.
And actually, and there's Casey Lakatos in 21st. He's trying to fight here. He started, I believe he started quite a bit.
23rd, yep.
23rd. So he's trying to move up some spots. But yeah, they got really close to Cabot. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Cabot isn't doing as well. It might just be that he's not entirely used to his package, because you saw him do really well on the road courses.
To play devil's advocate, though, you're right about the road courses, but to play devil's advocate, does anybody know how this package races? We haven't seen it race like this ever. I mean, this is such a new way of racing it. I think it's throwing kind of everything. And look at Emerson and Turner. These guys were struggling a little bit at the first couple races. Now, look at them go.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people, it works better with their driving style.
Butler just trying to squeeze in places that barely exist on corner exit.
Yeah.
But he has gone very far backwards. 13 spots lost. This almost reminds me of Tim Silman's run at Pocono in the Host Venom Cup Series on Tuesday. Drivers that we expect to normally be up front, just not having good days.
Yeah, and I do think that it has to do with certain people's driving style, especially if they're used to driving other cars, particularly the Indy car, because that's really what this package is more slid in the direction of, and I think that's where we're seeing Mark Emerson in the front. He enjoys doing IndyCar racing, and I think it really fits in with this, so he's able to adapt to it a lot quicker than some of these other drivers.
Let me tell you, Alec Martinez is flying right now. He's up to 14.
He's doing a great job. He's able to catch up this pack ahead of him. Here comes to the inside of Jordan Ashland. He's got a run on John Rodden.
And Yusuf Ghali when he appears. And everyone's, you know what? I think there's just server problems in general.
And what happened before the broadcast went live is that these guys were in a practice session. All of a sudden, all of them got mass disconnected. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We did see that happen before during a broadcast that happened in the fuel in Michigan. And they just called the race last lap before everyone mass disconnected. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. But so far, a very clean race, 30 laps in, not a single caution.
Martinez is up to 11th now. He just passed all those cars in like 3 corners.
And I think that's probably why we saw. Remember how we were saying that he was slow at the beginning of the run? I think he knows, and I'm surprised that he knows. I think he was saving his tires and just saving his stuff for the later part of the run.
Here's the thing: is a lot of drivers. Again, this is the first time we've seen this package race like this. And I was in a practice race with Alec a few weeks ago at Auto Club. And I don't remember where he finished at Auto Club, but he won that practice race. And this racetrack seems to be kind of racing like that Auto Club race did, where you can kind of use some different grooves, but for the most part, you're really close together, and that seems to be playing into Alec's benefit right now. He's running really well. He started 28th. He's up to 11th.
Yeah.
I mean, he's flying right now. And this is not just the draft helping him. He's figured something out here. He's going to go farther forward.
Yeah, he's been just climbing up by himself without any assistance, which is what you usually need to make passes here. But the better drivers are able to just go through the field by themselves.
Jordan Ashland has dropped back a couple spots since the start.
He's dropped like a rock, really, for lack of a better word. He's got Rodden, Banks, and Boyer. Boyer also starting to move up a little bit.
Yeah, there's drivers from all over the place, dropping and sliding all over the timing. So there's definitely something amiss with the iRacing servers right now, which is throwing off a lot of this. There's a car.
Oh!
That's Rodden.
Got a good piece of the wall, and here comes Joshua Banks to the outside.
Boyer to the inside, 3 wide down into turn 1.
And here comes Banks.
Or 2 wide.
And now back at 3 wide. But yeah, we saw Banks going to the back of the pack, and here he's charging back up.
Well, that's true. He's done a great job climbing forward. But the thing is, this is going to cause incidents. You see, people are kind of leaving space for more cars than are actually there, and then they kind of pop back in, and sometimes they'll take that space. And this is going to cause an issue, I think, here in a little while. Meanwhile, for second, Bailey Turner all over Jeff Wright's rear bumper and damage to the nose of the 24.
Yeah, so I think he had contact with someone, can't entirely tell who.
Oh, not Jeff Wright. His bumper very pristine.
Yeah, but notice that these guys are fighting for each other. Notice that Emerson is 0.6 of a second. He's been slowly breaking away from the rest of the pack, so he's doing a great job up in the lead. And these guys behind just haven't been able to get up to him. Also, Jeremiah Vincent, he's fallen back quite a bit from the leaders. Up in 4th place.
Yeah, Jeremiah is Dash for Cash competitor, but Jeff Wright right now in 2nd place is the leader in that category. Remember, if this race finishes green, the highest of those green numbered drivers is going to win an extra cash bonus at the end of the night. Have to finish under green.
Which is very
possible.
It's lining up a lot more than we would normally anticipate. So there's a good chance to finish under green, and he's having a fantastic run here.
Turner down to the inside in turn 3 and Wright up the racetrack a bit. Oh, pit stops. Here we come. Green flag. And Emerson down to pit lane, and Turner's going to come with him, and so is Jeremiah Vincent.
And here they come down on pit road. No other takers, so I think these guys are trying to do the undercut here, which is a smart strategy.
Butler's in hot, but he's in. Got the number 6 car at the back of the shot there. Now the question is, when do you make your move if you're Jeff Wright, Alex Bell? I mean, I think it's you have to respond and go now.
Yeah, I would say now is a good time to come in, but you know, never know. Some guys might feel a little bit more confident. Here he comes down on pit road.
Where's Alex Bell? He's going to stay out another lap. Parkman and others going to continue.
For these guys, I think it's good that they try to stay out because they're behind the leaders. Looking big picture, they're behind the leaders. And, you know, then you make up some line, but wow, there's a mass exodus down to pit road.
Yeah,
a lot of cars.
A lot of people are going to come on down and get tires and fuel now, so we can go about 37 laps, it looks like. Maybe some more. We've got some drivers pushing the issue. There is AJ Stravato. He's not really had a great season in that number 9 car. So Stravato looking to improve on things tonight. Where's Alex Bell off in turn number 3? Gonna go run again. We'll see how long they can really stretch these tires and fuel out. We've been running for 37 laps.
And I think really, I mean, I just did the math in my head. Really, they only need to go about 35 laps to cut this into 3 even stints. So, really, I mean, there isn't that much benefit about going on much longer. I mean, you could maybe try to go on 2 stops. Maybe.
Oh, Jeremy Miller is showing negative speeds right now, and I think he might have missed his pit box. Let's take a look and see if that was the case. Yep, slid right through it, and that's going to hurt. Wow, the servers really not working very well tonight, are they? Eli Hinton now sitting in 2nd behind Chris Parkman as the rest of the leaders in front of them have come to pit road. Parkman, new to the series, he came out with a bang the last couple weeks. He's been performing quite well.
Oh, and there's Mark Emerson. He's about to take, or he's about to unlap himself.
Yep, and this will show you the speed differential.
And there you see Bailey Turner. Bailey Turner's actually caught quite a bit under the pit stops.
Yeah, he charged the entry to pit road. It was very aggressive, and that did a lot of good for him. But now, you see these other guys just staying out longer, maybe so that they can pit later on the final stop and just do 2 or 3 overcuts. I mean, maybe it'll work, but I would have just pit with the leaders. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even follow the leader. I would just come in, based off of this, just come in every 35 laps to be right on target.
See Zach Halpern returning to the racetrack, and that's the 15 of Alex Bell, also jumping back on.
So currently, the top 9 have come down on pit road. Everyone else has stayed out. Or sorry, correction, top 7.
Halpern is listed as 7 laps down here, Finian.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice. Maybe he had dropped internet. I mean, we didn't notice, but I'm going to assume that, and Yusuf Ghali as well. We didn't see any crashes. I'm assuming these are internet-related issues.
Oh, that is a tough break for him. Well, hang on, let's scroll over here. Yeah.
Also, we'll take note of Liam Sheen in the number 51, running in 7th right now. It's a good run for him so far. Still needs to make that first pit stop in that NZXT Ford Fusion.
Yeah, only one in the field out of the 28 cars at the start of the race, and continue to run, although we have lost Yusuf Ghali. Hopefully he gets back in here.
Yeah, servers continuing to rear their ugly head here tonight. 100 laps to go. We passed that mark a few laps ago now. But how about the new guy, Tim Downey Jr. in the 25, and started up in 11th. He's running 14th right now, but a couple cars still have to pit, and he has already made his pit stop, so he's actually going to be up about 5 or 6 spots.
He's going to be, looks like he's going to cycle to 7, so solid run for that 25 car so far.
There's lots of chaos around here as a couple of drivers have yet to come to pit road. Casey Lakatos being one of them, and he looks like he's coming on through, and yep, that's 50 car lead. No, he's still on track. It's the 19 apartment that was peeling off. trying to keep track of our leaders. Where are they now? The 22 and 24 are 8th and 9th on the racetrack, but Turner is reeling in that number 22.
Yeah, really starting. He's really starting to come in here, and I think Turner is a lot stronger on this beginning part of the run. I think he's trying to use that to his advantage. Emerson just seems more consistent over the course of the run. We'll see here, because we saw Billy Turner charge up to the front, but he got to Emerson and kind of stalled, then fell back. So we'll see what he does here.
Down to turn number 3, and see just a light breathe of the throttle, and now the 22 kind of pulls in. You see the 24 slip up the racetrack. A bit of aero watch here with these big spoilers, but doesn't seem to be nearly as bad here. And this is surprising, because I don't typically think of Texas as a high grip racetrack, but it seems like this package is working so much better here than it has at every other racetrack I've seen it at so far. The 22 trying to break that draft down the straightaway. 3rd place, Eli Hinton on pit lane now.
Yeah, these guys are actually able to go quite a bit longer than I thought on field. So I think these guys that are coming in now, I think they're going to try to stretch out the fuel as long as they can. Maybe try to come in only 2 stops. But then at that point, you got to start considering the tire wear and the tire fall off, which seems to be relatively significant.
Lots of action around Elliott Butler right now. This is all for about just 19th place, it looks like. There's Reggie Ortega back here, as well as Zach Halpern, but Halpern again still 7 laps down after something happened to take him out. There's Eli Hinton returning to the racetrack. And a lot of these guys, Eli Hinton is sitting in... Oh, did he get a pit speed penalty? No?
He did. He was one of the... He just came in, so everyone with fresh tires got around him.
So that's interesting, because Eli Hinton was in the top 10. He's now 24th.
But if we can get if we can ride on board with him maybe for a lap or two, we'll see that he's going to catch these guys up in a hurry here.
Yeah, I am not confident the servers are going to last this whole race. They are looking really sketchy.
Which is kind of funny, because then it turns into a scenario where it's almost like there's rain on the track, or there's rain approaching.
I mean, there are so many drivers flickering out right now that I would be amazed if the server wasn't about to just go.
And you can see how much time he gained on this group of cars ahead, and he's going to be able to pretty much just drive on by them without much effort. So
they're not going to put up a fight either. I think they know the situation here where he's on fresher tires, he's going to be able to blow around them. The question becomes, how far does he get before that advantage goes away?
Probably 12th, 10th, or 11th will he start it, and then he'll start to stall out. So let's see, just judging by the amount of guys ahead of him, but here he is starting to make work on guys. There's Brian Chambliss ahead of him.
Trying to board the gyro cam just to make it a little bit more fun while he slices and dices his way through the field. And he's just gaining car lengths with these fresher tires. 4 of our 5-Dash4Cash drivers are in the top 6 right now. The only one not in it is Josiah Vincent in the number 4, who's riding 10th.
Yeah, I mean, they are all in the top 10 doing a great job here.
And you feel like Superman with 4 Mr. Feelgoods on it right now, don't you?
Pretty much just driving like you got a different engine compared to everyone else in. So, Hinton now up in the 18th. There you see now a big battle between Reggie Ortega, Clifton Cockrell, and Joshua Banks for 15th.
This is going to get really exciting here in a minute. Where do you go here? Are you going to make him 3 wide? Nope, I think he's going to stay in line here and wait for a hole to open up. And there it is. The C's are parting, and in comes the 13. He's going to move himself right promptly into 16th spot and go for 15th here on the back straight.
And there you see not much of a fight from these other guys here.
Well, I was going to look at him, but then Joshua Banks was flashing. There we go.
Ooh, clips the apron a little bit, but he's all good, gets ahead. He's currently in the top 15 now. So you see that quickly that he's able to move up quite a bit. He'll move up a couple more spots, but back up to the lead.
Well, before we go there, I'll take you to battle for 8th. That's Jeremy Miller and Tim Downey Jr. fighting. Remember, Tim Downey Jr. knew this race, his first race here in the Outsider Racing League. And running inside the top 10. You mentioned...
Oh, and also, since we're here, another driver was in the top 10, Adam Cabot. So we're talking about him not doing well. I guess, I don't know what strategy he pulled off.
Well, it's not anything different than anyone else. I don't know how he did that, but it worked.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, just managed his stuff better. So, solid job by the 77 to get himself up inside the top 10. We saw him struggling significantly, but here he is on a pretty good strategy. He only pit 1 lap after the leaders.
Yeah, and a normal stop, too, so... Yeah. Interesting, but Adam Cabot has launched himself back into contention there with that stop.
Sorry to doubt him.
I guess so. Battle for the lead. Bailey Turner has taken it away from Emerson, down off into turn number 1. And the swap for position has occurred here at lap number 50. But
oh, and they got some lap cars up ahead of them too. So this will be interesting.
It's the 51 of Liam Sheen. I think there's Justin Rodden and Casey Lakatos right here. But we did see Emerson take the lead back at the end of the run, so I'm curious to see if that will happen here as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say because again with the way this package is, you know, you could try to work his way around Turner and use up his stuff, or you can just kind of sit in behind Turner, just right out. Because I mean, all he has to do is just pass the guy ahead of him, and he's got the draft. So it's kind of up to Emerson what to do if he wants to just kind of wait around, because he's already led quite a bit of lap. He's pretty much the only leader. I think the only other driver to lead a lap was Bailey Turner. So, you know, he doesn't really need to do much more other than just probably sit behind him for a few laps.
Where'd you put our digger cam here tonight?
It's in the middle of, it's in turn 4.
Excellent. That was pit lane cam. I hit the wrong button, but we're going to try it next time, bud. I was hoping for a camera in turn 4, so that worked out nicely. Anyway, lap 54 of 140. We've been green the whole way here, if any of you take a look. We've had 10 lead changes, all done through pit stops,
yeah.
With the exception of Bailey Turner and Emerson trading a few times. No cautions, no caution laps, which is a big change from last week at Martinsville.
Yeah, indeed. And I think I'm not too surprised with this. Again, good group of drivers here. A lot of them got their heads on their shoulders. And again, with this package too, a lot of downforce, a lot of grip to these guys, but
Whoa!
Very hot track. 117. It's a hot Texas day.
Yeah, and you would think that this package would work better on a cool track, but for some reason, this race has been spectacular, and I have no idea why.
And
look at Alex Martinez. Hold on, interruption. 4th place.
Wow.
He started. Take a look at this, guys. Started in 28th place up to 4th, and he's done that all just passing people. He pitted with the majority of the folks. He has not done this by strategy.
I don't know what on earth him and Cabot did, but they were both outside the top 10, like around 15 at one point. And I guess through good managing, good pit stops in general, they moved themselves up into 4th and 7th.
This is really impressive, because at the first couple laps of the race, I was saying how it was kind of taking him longer than I would normally think. I don't know. I've missed so much with him because he has just flown through the field. He has not had a good start to 2019. This has not gone his way. 2018 was a spectacular year. He ended up missing a lot of the chase races, but he was in the chase and ran quite well in the beginning of it. But this could be his season. If the rest of the season goes like this, Alec Martinez could be looking for a championship this year.
Yeah, indeed. Had a 2nd place finish at Daytona, and then a 7th place finish at Sonoma, which is pretty good, but finished 18th at Martinsville, so I think he's hoping for a little bit more. Also, missed a start at Auto Club. Oh yeah, that's right, because I believe he was. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Ignore what I was about to say.
Battle for 5th place. Alex Bell on Jeremiah Vincent down the back straight. It's a drag race here on the Texas Super Stretch, and the 15 down to the inside, and he'll take that spot away and move himself up inside the top 5 here. Battle for 9th. Tim Downey Jr. on the inside.
Whoa,
of
and here
Parkman.
comes Eli Hinton. Wow. He's
Okay.
still not he's still not falling out. I thought he would fall out right here. Here he comes, potentially 3 wide into turn 1.
He took a look, thought better of it. He'll stay in line for now, but a couple laps ago, where was he? He came out like 23rd or something.
Yeah, he was
back
in
up to 11.
22nd, yeah.
Now this is done with tire strategy, and I don't think this would be quite possible if he didn't do tire strategy.
Oh, he's getting a little bit. There he goes to the inside. Was trying to find a way around the 25. But he'll make this pass with ease. You also get around Parkman pretty easily, so he'll be up in the 9th place definitely.
He could probably get to Cabot. I don't think he'll be able to get all the way up the racetrack to Alex Bell.
So what this shows here is that overcut is very viable too, and if anything, again, I kind of doubt this still, but he did go about 10-11 laps before he came in. He might be able to cut out 1 pit stop. Might be able to.
Interesting. Well, we can't count on caution. Laps has been clean and green for 59 laps to start this race here tonight. It's all Bailey Turner out front. Mark Emerson has dropped off here. And now you have to start wondering, is Emerson getting frustrated? It's right on board here listening to the throttle input. Not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, no, indeed. You're pretty much just sitting back you're at the whim of the arrow, the way the draft works and all that. All that stuff, because you can hear that there's very little off throttle time.
Yeah, it's really just you're breathing the throttle for a moment, and that's pretty much it. There's Alec Martinez, who started 28th up to 4th. Plus 24 spots. He's passed the whole field. Here's a battle right now. That is the 19 of Parkman, Miller, and Hinton, all fighting for 8th place.
Parkman able to get it around the 30 of Miller, and here comes now to the inside Eli Hinton. This is going to be without any fight at all. He gets him before gets him after the corner. And I'm just kind of looking at the time, so fastest car on the track is Eli Hinton. Or actually, no, it was Chris Parkman that time through.
Yes.
Yeah.
This Parkman with a 31.779. Don't think there was... Oh, no, actually, the quickest car on the track was Bruce Boyer, 31.612. Correction still, Casey Lakatos, a 31.403.
Yeah.
It's not surprising there because he has the freshest tires of a lot of these
I was
cars,
going to say
but,
a lot of those guys I think came in towards the end of the run, but yeah.
But in terms of the quickest lap, he did get the fastest, so we'll correct ourselves there. 1.2 second lead for Bailey Turner up front. We've been watching this battle with Parkman and Hinton for a lap or so.
Yeah, and interesting too, we saw that Eli Hinton again came in 10 plus laps after the leader came in. He's only running just a little bit faster than Bailey Turner, so I don't know what Turner's up to, but he's got some solid pace right now in the 24 car.
Down to the inside for 8th place goes the 13, the Sim Motorsports Toyota, and won the Virtual Racing League race at Bristol a couple weeks ago, and looked like really strong in Martinsville, ended up getting turned in the closing laps, but trying to rebound. It has not quite been a spectacular night for the 13, but still a long way to go. How about Jeff Wright, though, in the number 48, starting to track down Mark Emerson. Last time through was a tick slower, but I think he's gaining overall.
Yeah, Emerson's really starting to fall off. Gap now 1.5 seconds. Last time we were looking at the leaders, there was a 1 second gap. So Wright really catching up in a hurry now by about a tenth a lap to Emerson.
I do see a bit of right rear damage, and I'm thinking that might have been where Bailey Turner got his nose damage from. Although I think Bailey Turner's nose damage is on the left front. No, it's on the right front. So right front to right rear. How do you make that contact? Maybe those don't match up right. I'm not a forensics engineer, but I don't think those two things go together like as smooth as puzzle should.
Get like this.
That they would both be DNF'd if that were the case. Parkman and Hinton continuing to fight for 8th place is out of turn 4. Well, it's been clean and green here, Finney. Let's do a little Sim TV sound surge. Welcome back here after the sound surge, and Hinton's been working over Parkman, and it looks like he's finally going to get alongside here. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Have to drive in pretty deep to get the spot.
Yeah, he's still, both these guys putting up a fight. Both of them pretty fast on the track. Some of the fastest guys on the track, indeed. So they're going at a good pace. They're also catching Jeremiah Vincent, who's pretty far off. 32.3 for the 8 car. Well, the slowest driver in the top 10.
Oh, Larry Mack tidbit here, Finney, and no race in VRL or Outsiders has ever gone caution-free from the start of the race to the checkered flag.
And following the pattern of our broadcast, there should be a caution about a lap. That's a Sim TV tidbit right there.
Yeah, there's a Sim TV tidbit, but Hinton had that spot, but I can't quite get it done. Parkman's holding on strong. Yeah,
and he's probably going to fall in behind as both these guys are going to be able to work around Vincent, who's pretty off the pace. I think his tires are worn. He wants to come down on pit road. And I'm pretty sure our leaders do, because going off their strategy, we're about to tick over to halfway through this race. And they're probably going to come in sometime soon in the next probably 3 laps.
Great battle. That's for 7th behind the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent. And Josiah Vincent, Dash for Cash runner, out of the race. Electrical problems for the 4 car.
That's really unfortunate. A lot of guys getting caught out from
Cabot too. Adam Cabot's out as well in the 77.
Oh, man.
People dropping like flies. Meanwhile, 3 wide for 6th.
Yeah, and Hinton's gonna get around both these guys.
Wow.
Solid pass by him. Here comes Parkman, and I see a driver on pit road. That's Alex Bell
Bell
in the 15. This is a scheduled stop for him. But Bell trying to do the undercut here as we still see this battle playing out for 5th place. Or sorry, now what effectively is 3rd because pit stop's underway.
Yep. And that's because our leaders came on down, the 22 and the 24. Meanwhile, Jeff Wright, he's going to come on in now as well. Where is Alec Martinez? There he is. He's going to take the lead. He'll lead a lap here. Outsiders. Curious to see where he ends up after this pit sequence after what happened in the first one.
Yeah, indeed. And he did come in a little bit later after the leaders, but I expect him to make a timely pit stop. I am curious about how the 13 of Hinton is going, how his strategy is going to play out, because he's on a completely different strategy compared to most of this field. Yep,
Jeff Wright in the number 48. He's into his box, taking rights and lefts. You're going to want 4 tires and fuel every single time. The difference between the fresh tires laps and the current laps about 2.5 seconds at times. The 8 car missed his box there by a tick. There's Jordan Ashland coming on in. And he was supposed to be our in-race reporter, but we haven't had a caution to be able to talk to him yet.
Indeed, and there you see Eli Hinton currently in 2nd place. Alec Martinez still on the track leading the race. Out of the guys who pit, looks like Bailey Turner is effectively the leader in 12th.
Yeah, by not a pretty decent margin.
Yeah, I'm not sure how where Mark lost nearly 4 seconds, but now Mark's effectively falling into the clutches of Jeff Wright.
Bailey Turner actually had a slower pit stop sequence overall.
It might have been probably coming in and going out.
Yeah. Either way, Emerson lost some ground. He'll have to get that spot back.
Either that or Turner got a really good, because remember Turner made up quite a bit of time last time.
Yeah.
So that might be where he's gaining that, gaining and losing. Eli Hinton got Parkman's been able to stick with him.
Yeah,
he's doing a great job.
These two have been so equal on pace so far. I don't see that changing here. What I do see changing is potentially how they work on their strategies. Let's take a look. Parkman and Hinton separated by 3. The caution out of the racetrack. Who's it going to be? There is a caution flying. I think it's for Jeremiah Vincent.
Oh, tough break.
And another Dash for Cash driver out. And you know who just cheered? Alec Martinez.
Yeah, leading the race, but one of our Dash for Cash drivers, unfortunately, one of our other Dash for Cash drivers is involved in a wreck. Vincent without a nose, and that car is pretty much toast.
So our hope to go green from start to finish is not going to happen. We made it 75 laps without a yellow flag, and the first one comes here on lap number 75 for the 8 car of Jeremiah Vincent, down off into turn number 1, alongside with the 23, or actually the 30, excuse me, Jeremy Miller.
He just walked.
Whoa. A couple other cars got tagged up in that as well. What happened there?
What I'm kind of curious about, let's go right on board inside the car. I'm curious about. He got off the gas.
What happened?
Maybe the car just walked up the hill. Yeah.
Like, no, he's turning left. It just. What? Okay, did he get hooked before that happened? I need to look at this again. No, there was definitely something wrong there. A connection problem of some sort. I'm going to guess wheel connection potential. I don't know. Something broke on that car. Almost looks like a tire went down, but
yeah,
that would be tricky to do. I guess it's not impossible.
I mean, yeah, he came into his pit, so his tire should be fine. So he shouldn't have had a handling problem. Yeah, that's what. What? Maybe he hit a bomb on the track.
No, it shot straight. Like it went really straight.
He did ease out of turning a little bit. That might have been enough to send him straight up on the corner. You know what I think it was? I think he was looking ahead at Eddie Trejo. I think he was trying to pass him because he had fresher tires.
We need to talk to him to find out. I think.
And then didn't realize he had Jeremy Miller.
Let's see if we can get a hold of him here. It'll be Jeremiah Vincent driving the number 8 car. And we'll see if we can just chat and figure out what happened here to the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent. Hey, Jeremiah Vincent, it's Kyle from SimTV. Got a copy?
Copy.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a bad day for you in the number 8 car, Jeremiah. But what happened there? We were looking at the replay. It looks like you just shot up the racetrack, and it looked like almost a tire went down or something, but we're not quite sure. So what happened in the car?
I was going to shoot the gap, and all of a sudden, I felt like I got hit in the corner panel, and it's what happened on the wall.
Interesting. I wonder if there was maybe a big chunk of net coat or something, because we're looking from up above, and there wasn't contact until you had already been going straight for some time. So we're just trying to figure out what was going on there, Jeremiah. But a tough break for you, and unfortunate to talk to you under these circumstances. But hopefully better luck next week.
Yeah, there's a lot of netcode floating around. I've noticed some guys blinking in and out and everything, and been a lot of problems this week. iRacing's got to check into, I guess.
All right, Jeremiah. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for chatting with us, even in a hard time.
No problem, man.
Yeah, that reaffirms that was definitely netcode. That's what I'm going to go with. I think what happened was the 30 of Jeremy Miller was on his outside.
Yeah, we did see him suffering from that. So so
I think what happened was he was turning down already, but there's about 3 or 4 feet of netcode which hooked him before he got there, which made it look like a tire. I've never seen that happen like that.
If that is the case, it's probably the worst netcode I've ever seen in iRacing.
I've seen worse, but not in that kind of way. I've seen it when you're side by side and it just shoves someone 15 feet away, but never right rear left front like that. Very strange. Anyway, caution out. Lots of wave around cars here, but Alec Martinez breathing a sigh of relief. He's leading this race, and he has come in and made his stop.
Yeah, indeed. Only the top 12, it seems, are going to be behind the pace car. Everyone else is going to have to wave around, go around here. We might actually see the caution extended here from the Edmonds just to get everyone sorted out.
We'll see how it works out. I think this also benefits Eli Hinton in the 13 as well. Looks like he'll be restarting fourth. So the guys that were playing that longer run strategy, they're loving this caution. And especially Alec Martinez, he's going to be a dangerous man out front. But how about the 22 and 24? Bailey Turner restarting 7th, Mark Emerson 12th. Yeah. Those two guys led the majority of this race so far.
Indeed. This took a lot of our front runners out. And in fact, the entire top 6, we haven't really seen much of them.
Well, it's green flag on half the track.
Yeah, these guys actually gotta get a little bit worried because they gotta not only catch space here, they also gotta get themselves sorted out here in time to get going. So it's gonna be close for them, especially the guys in the back. But yeah, so lining up for the restart here, entirely change the order of the field as the field comes to turn 4.
All right, field rolling out of turn 4 for the restart, lap number 79. Alec Martinez in the number 18 is going to bring them back down to the green flag alongside Chris Parkman, Angelo Ronas, and Eli Hinton. Green flag flies. We're racing again here at Texas.
Yeah, Martinez is able to take a good lead of the race. And there you see Bailey Turner on the back bumper on Mark Emerson. They're already duking it out.
Hinton to the inside of Parkman, wasting no time at all. He'll drop to the inside and take 3rd place away.
Yeah, and correction, that was not Mark Emerson, that was Eddie Trejo. I keep confusing Eddie Trejo's cars.
Their are very similar this week, so it's understandable there.
Yeah, but Eddie
side by side, look at Angelo Ronas to the outside with a push from Eli Hinton. He gets door to door with leader Martinez, but the inside lane I think is going to prevail on the fresh tires.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing the 18 and the 13. Both those guys seem really fast, but are in the back in the midst of the field. Here they are on the front for the first time tonight. I expect them to take advantage of it.
This is all for the lead. Look very hazy out here. High humidity this evening. Look at the 13. Door to door with the 29 now. Then it's the 24. So Bailey Turner is very quick. He's gone from 7th to 4th in just a lap here. So keep an eye on that Exalta car. He's going to shoot through the field here shortly.
And although he's got Eli Hinton ahead of him, so he's going to have to work around him. And speaking of working around, there you see Justin Rodden to the outside, looking to the outside of Parkman. And how about Reggie Ortega? We saw him struggling earlier. Here he is in 7th place.
Goes the tail off into turn number 1 and look at Eli Hinton. He is up to 2nd place now with Bailey Turner right on his bumper as we work our way through turns 1 and 2. Great onboard shots from Mark Emerson as we work our way down the back straight.
And Emerson going to have to make a lot of lost ground, as well as Jeff Wright, who's back in 15. It's restarted pretty much around there as we're going to see the field come through 4.
Third place. Actually make that 4th. It's Angelo Ronas and Eddie Trejo. Trejo on the inside lane. Ronas has been trying to make that GoPro car stick on the outside. Hasn't been able to do it. Bailey Turner to the inside of Eli Hinton for 2nd. I still think Turner is probably the quickest car on the track at the moment. And he was last time through by about 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to make the pass around Eli. And there you see him move himself up to 2nd. Here you see Ronas falling behind. Eddie Trejo, who's having a really good run.
And the whole field's kind of been turned on its head after the caution. So this is all kind of backwards from where it was. And Reggie Ortega also kind of saved by that. But Chris Parkman restarted 2nd. He has not been able to hang on. He's back to 8th place now.
Looks like he might continue to fall. He's got Emerson Parkman behind. You see these guys swerving down the back straightaway, trying to break up that draft.
Martinez has led a couple laps here. I said he'd be dangerous out front, but I don't know if he's got enough pace to stay out in front of Bailey Turner. Turner's reeling him in, but the question is, can Martinez stay inside this top 5? Meanwhile, for 5th, Reggie Ortega on the outside now of Angelo Ronis. We'll see if Ortega can make the outside group work.
And he's lining up behind Trejo. He's going to get a draft, but he's also in the aero wash. So he's got to be very careful off the 2 here.
Makes the run, and he should be able to clear the 29. When he gets down to the corner, not quite. He's got a quarter panel hanging out there. The 29 is going to use that, but nope. The outside lane going to prevail in turn 3 and 4.
See Ortega just gassed it up there, and then you see now Emerson looking to the inside of the 29.
Emerson has not been able to make passes as easily as Turner has, although in Emerson's, in all fairness for Emerson, there's a lot more dirty air back there.
Yeah, and Emerson hasn't been a lot in the dirty area. He was leading up until pretty much the first pit stop.
For the lead, though, Martinez continues to hang on, but Turner is closing. Last time through, it was about dead even for these top 2 guys, but the gap is 0.2 of a second, and I assume it's going to close here this time. But there is some splitter damage on the 24. Might hurt the downforce just a tick. Okay.
Yeah, it might, but I mean, he's been shown to be really strong later in the run. So I'm kind of curious what he's going to do here. If he's just going to try to let Martinez use up his stuff, or if he's going to try to work around him, because you've seen that it's pretty hard to pass the leader compared to other cars.
How about guys that were running better earlier? Jeff Wright, the number 48, all the way back in 15th place. Alex Bell has not really had a spectacular night. He's running in the 13th spot at the moment. There's just battles all over the racetrack, trying to pick the best ones to look at, but really a guarantee with so much going on. How about Casey Lakatos? Spent most of the early part of the night down in the order. After that last caution, put himself up into 12th.
And we've seen when he's able to get up into the top of the field, he really goes with it. And here he is running in 12, trying to work on Brian Chambliss,
another car whose number does not match the actual number, which is going to drive me insane.
Although I got to give him props. So that's a nice building paint scheme.
It's dirty looking. I'll give you that. It's got. We said this last week too. Was it Pocono? Post Venom Cup Series. Yeah. The cars were filthy after the race. Is that how it's supposed to look, or is that?
I honestly feel like part of the system is broken because it's almost as if there's like a projectile launcher at these cars from behind each other.
It looks like that. I mean,
yeah. I think it's a little. I think whatever they might have changed something in the build-up that made this effect more exaggerated.
I don't know how that's coming through, but come back here in a couple hours when this video is done processing, when it's available.
Yeah, you'll see the car and look at the cars with white. Actually, we can look at Ronis because his car, as I know, his definitely has a white nose on it, and you can see it's slowly turning into gray.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre looking. Anyway, lap 89 of 140 here, Finian. So we saw the guys earlier go, what, 40-something laps on field? 47, 48?
They can go to 45, about. They can go to about 45.
So we need to go another 5 or 6 laps. We can all make it from one stop on here, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So you're going to see these guys probably, they've got the restart at 75. So they'll probably go on to probably 105 before they make a pit stop.
But they're good.
Yeah, they're definitely good, although they definitely need to make one more stop.
Look at this three-way battle for 5th place. Actually, make that 4th place. Emerson, Ortega, and Trejo out of turn 2. And
wow, Jesus. Trejo had a big run there. Almost was trying to make 3 wide out of a 2 wide situation. Gonna have to back off of it.
Yeah, there's another look. There's all the filth on the nose of the 2 car, too. Does that pretty well on the yellow. It is a dirty car.
Here he's looking to the outside, almost put himself in the wall trying to find a way around Mark Emerson. With Emerson looking like he's already passed it. Emerson did a great job moving himself up into 4th.
Bailey Turner has actually dropped off of Alex Martinez.
Yeah, the leaders are starting to drop off from themselves. We saw Martinez, Turner, and Hinton all with each other, and they were slowly separated. Eli Hinton a lot more than the others. You can see the gaps there.
There is your leader, Alex Martinez, 0.4 of a second back to Bailey Turner. And then the rest of the field fighting on through. There is the 51 of Liam Sheen. He's running in 10th right now. Make that 9th off into turn 1. And a gaggle behind him. Rod and Casey Lakatos and Joshua Banks all fight.
Yeah, Liam Sheen got a second lease on life here. Got after that restart inside the top 10. Here he is hanging on, although he's having some internet issues. Here comes Casey Lakatos on his outside.
Oh, close quarters here. Let's not be. Gotta be careful because all the netcode floating around. You're gonna find yourself in defense like the 8 car did earlier. So both the Vincent brothers out, 25th and 26th. Josiah's back out on the racetrack, 12 laps down. Great fighting all throughout the field. And back here is the 20 of Zach Halpern, who continues to be 7 laps down. And after last week at Martinsville, he was upset, and I can't blame him, but this week has not been any better.
I don't blame him for being upset this week, because he had a really good car. Should have been probably fighting for these guys at least in the top 10. And then the internet issue took him out, but nice to see him still going on in 24th, 7 laps down. Hasn't been able to get any cautions to take out drivers tonight, but is still soldiering through.
There's your gap now. It's 5.5 tenths of a second. Martinez, Turner, Hinton, Emerson, Ortega, your top 5. Then it's Ronan, Trejo, Parkman, Lakatos, and Rodden, the rest of your top 10. But look at that fight. This is all for 12th now. Liam Sheen leading the battle here.
Oh, and behind them, I see Alex Bell to the inside of Cabot, who got put back. Got put back in the field.
I think Joshua Banks is using a toaster for a router. Popping in and out and making for a smoke show for everyone else.
Alex Bell now looking to the inside of Ryan Chambliss.
It's just... actually, it's Liam Sheen that's popping in and out right now.
It's both of them.
Yeah, both of them kind of... And you see the 35 disappeared. Now he's back.
And Liam's gonna... There you go.
I still think it's on the server a little bit tonight.
Oh, no, it's making it a lot worse. I think the guys who already have relatively poor internet connections, I think it's affecting them a lot more. We've seen Banks struggle with a lot in the past, but it's particularly bad tonight, as well as guys like Halpern and Miller.
Okay, so 45 laps to go. We can make it on fuel. Who's gonna be the first to stop?
Yeah, that's a good question here. I feel like we're gonna see these guys.
Martinez for the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably not gonna see these guys coming for about another 10 laps, just to kind of keep this more. Probably another 10, 13 laps, because they've only been on this run for about 20 laps. Feel relatively spread out, relatively calm here. Might just be the calm before the storm. And you see, wow.
Playing with inches here on the inside of Halpern. I would love to look at these cars, but when they're popping in and out, it's hard to grab.
Oh, and behind them, here comes Chambliss to the outside, and Alex Bell looking to the inside, almost through wide there.
Difficult to watch a race in half the field situation.
It is.
I wish it was my fault, because then I could fix it.
Ooh, and whoa.
Wow, look at that's the 77 of Cabot, who's 4 laps down after having issues earlier.
They're not fighting for position, but it's still entertaining between these guys. Neither is Halpern, but he's also just trying to hang in. Probably have some fun here, because at this point he's just trying to make up points.
Up front, though, Finian, that 18 car continues to... If I could grab it. Gosh, it's getting worse. I'm saying I would be amazed if these servers make it the whole way. Alec Martinez leads by 0.6 of a second. It's growing, that lead. And I think it's only going to get bigger. I don't see Turner turning this around unless Martinez has really been beating up his tires.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see it again. We've seen Turner have some pretty good long-run paces, which I thought was the opposite. But Turner's been able to stay a lot better with Martinez than Hinton or Emerson. They've both fallen off quite a bit. In fact, Hinton's really starting to fall off into the clutches of Emerson. There's only 4/10 separating those two drivers.
It's interesting, the front two guys, two of the second and fourth place car started on the front row, and Martinez and Hinton both started really deep in the field, so kind of a mixed bag of who's up front right now. Chris Parkman in the 19, he restarted second on that restart in lap 79, and 20 laps later, he's still in 10th, so hasn't quite had the pace to keep up with the leaders, but not running bad, and again, he's relatively new to this series, and been running quite well the first couple weeks.
And as this pit window starts to open up here, I'm really curious who are going to be our first guys down on pit road.
40 laps to go at the line, and there's the first one. It's Justin Rodden in the 0-1. He's going to be down.
Someone out ahead of them. I'm not sure who that is.
Chris Parkman in the 19, and looks like we had another follower as well. It's Bruce Boyer in the... Oh, he was actually ahead. What? Interesting. Because he was flashing. All right, so a couple drivers in, but the leader is still out on the racetrack. Martinez has extended his lead to 0.7, make it 0.8 of a second. And I don't think any of the leaders are going to come on in just yet. No. We know Hinton's going to stretch this out. I think he knows the power of the overcut. I think he's just going to run the car out of fuel.
Yeah, I think really effective strategy is honestly getting that car in some clean air. Not getting it stuck behind zones. You can really get the maximum out of this package and all the downforce you're given when you're not in behind someone. Here comes Lakatos now to the inside of Eddie Trejo. It's going to be a fight for 7th place.
This race has been turned on its head with that one yellow flag. Everything was so normal that a caution right in the middle of the pit cycle kind of threw everybody for a loop. Kind of turned the order around, but I'm not complaining. It's been a great race so far. We've got some new faces up front, some old friends up front.
And if you look in the entire top 10, it's pretty much, it's almost completely different, other than maybe Turner and Emerson being at the top of the field. But
That's
nearly every
the only thing that's the same.
Every other driver in the top 10 was not in the top 10 early on in the race.
There's Eddie Trejo and Casey Lacatas continuing to fight for 7th place.
Lacatas is going to get on by. Here comes Joshua Banks trying to build up a run here to the inside.
Meanwhile, Alec Martinez still leading here, Finian, and the question is, does Bailey Turner change his strategy here to get back by this 18? Or do you think he just runs his own race and he's just going to get it back on speed on fresh tires?
I think what he should try to do, I think, is best. I think what he should do is before he gets passed by Mark Emerson, I think he should come down on pit road, just so he's not wasting tires or energy fighting with the 22.
Closing on 35 to go. We've only had a couple cars make pit stops, except Alec Martinez. Here he comes down to pit lane in the 18.
Yeah.
So from the lead, the pit lane for the final time, 35 to go.
Yeah, this is probably where if I was a driver in this race, I would probably pit now, because this is about halfway in this run. There you see also Chambliss and Sheen on pit road.
Now, Martinez has to not speed here. You're going to want to speed. That's going to be, you're going to want to go as fast as you can, but you got to be careful. He's got this race in a really good spot as long as he gets off pit road without any issues.
Yeah, I see a driver in the back there. I think that's Bailey Turner. Indeed, it is on pit road.
So from 2nd place, Turner's going to come on down. He's going to bring Banks. Emerson and Hinton are fighting for what has just become the lead. And we've seen Hinton play the overcut. I talked about this a couple minutes ago. We saw him play the overcut. It worked out really, really well. So I'm on board with Team Overcut, but you have to play it just right. And do you have enough time left to make it work?
That's what I was going to say. He needs to make sure he times it in a way where he has enough time to get back the laps he lost by by not pitting, because it worked out earlier because we were on such a long run. But now he's got to make sure he times it. I think he's got to come in within the next 2 to 3 laps to really make it work.
Turner just exiting pit road a minute ago, and Emerson and Hinton are going to fight onto the back straightaway. It's 0.2 of a second separating them. And now it's just a waiting game to see all the pit stops play out and where people are going to return to the racetrack. So the 24 and 18 have actually swapped spots here, Finian, but Alec Martinez... Oh, no, they haven't. 18's out front. Caution's out again.
Out.
And right in the middle of this, and that is going to help everyone that hasn't pit yet, namely Mark Emerson and Eli Hinton, and Turner and Alec Martinez just got put in a really bad spot. And also, my question is, okay, the timing and scoring was taking a minute to update.
And I think involved in that, I think it might have been Zach Halpern. I
actually didn't see who was involved.
I think it might be Halpern.
It was Halpern.
Definitely was Halpern.
All right, let's go find out what caused this incident. This has crashed for a while.
Oh yeah, I saw it in the background there.
All right, here's a look at it. This is the 20 car of Zach Halpern.
This is from the looks of it. It looks like it was another weird wreck. Here he's on the outside of Trejo.
48 of Jeff Wright coming up off the corner. Just hits into the wall and bounces off and just couldn't save it. And this looked exactly like Robert Gaba's wreck in the early part of the race.
It's back on the track. Yeah.
I think he was trying to keep it in the fence, not to get into anybody else, which was a good move to make, but it did bring out the yellow, and here comes the rest of the field on pit lane.
Or well, the guy, I should say the amount of guys that didn't pit, which is a very small amount, and is really going to help them out. So here comes Emerson. I think he's going to love this. This is really turned the tides on the battle between him and the 24. Those
were really the two guys that were fighting.
And I mean, you could throw in Martinez there, although he's going to have some guys that he needs to pass.
So we've had only 2 cautions in 109 laps. It's really changed how this race has been played. Emerson's going to beat Hinton off pit lane. Ortega's going to come out in position number 3. Ronis, Lacatas, and Trejo also come out. There's Elliott Butler in the background, 2. All right, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back for the restart. Stay with us. Coming back to the restart here for the Outsider Racing League round number 5 from Texas, Mark Emerson and Eli Hinton making up the front row here for this late race restart. The time there, I said I reloaded my timing and scoring information. That'll correct itself shortly here. 111 laps of 125 complete. Pace car is off. Eli Hinton on the front row. Alongside Mark Emerson, green flag flies. We're racing again here at Texas with just a couple laps left.
I was going to say small correction in that. It's 140 laps.
Thank you.
That's incorrect.
We have a little ways to go.
Yeah, we got just under 30 laps to go. And there you see Reggie Ortega and Eli Hinton side by side racing for second place.
Look at that, almost 4 wide in the back here. That's Adam Cabot on the outside.
Yeah,
and a big scramble on the back straight.
And it is starting to kick off. These guys know that they don't have a lot of time left to go. Crunch time is now. And also side by side for fourth place.
Look at this fight. 3 wide deep in the pack. They'll make it through okay. You mentioned the battle for fourth. Look at Reggie Ortega up to second place, fitting in the number 2.
Wow.
Going for the lead on the outside. Here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes. In case Ocasio looked like he was going to go to the inside of Hinton, but Hinton cut him off. And there you see also Alec Martinez going through the field like a boss.
He's got his way past Bailey Turner and is running inside the top 10 now. Look at Ortega to the outside again. Can he make this move sick?
It's going to be tough to do. It's kind of hard to do the outside in 3 and 4. Here comes Eli Hinton with a big run.
Hinton's got to run to the inside. Emerson's beginning to pull about a car length of space on these 2 guys fighting for second. Not a whole lot of space there, just about a car width and a half for the 13 to slip on through. And Angelo Ronis is licking his lips as he sees these guys fighting.
Indeed, he's right in the catbird seat, although he's got to worry that 18 behind them is really fast.
And Martinez drops to the inside in turn 3.
And he is driving like the field is standing still. He's doing a fantastic job right now up into 4th. He's only got 3 more cars till he gets to the lead. And remember, too, he actually has older tires than the guys up ahead of him.
Push to the 13!
Gave a bump to the 13 entering the corner. Oh, and clips the apron a little bit. He's
slips.
Gonna clip the apron. He's gonna walk up the hill. He's still gonna be good. Lost a little momentum. Here comes Casey Wakatis now behind him.
Bump draft from the 50 down the back straight. Great action up front. But Mark Emerson has just about a car width or a car length of a lead over Reggie Ortega and Eli Hinton, and Martinez is going back to the inside of Ronis. And last time through, Martinez was quicker than no one in front of him. He was a little bit slower because of that checkup.
Yeah, he had a little bit slow over here. He's going back around Ronis. He's now going to have just the 3 leaders ahead of him, and he's got a really fast car.
Yeah, he completed that pass that time, no questions asked. There's a second pack built up back there, but for 4th place, Martinez has won that battle. But for second, the battle is heating up. Look at Reggie Ortega. He's got the 13 all over the rear bumper, right on the camera out of turn 4.
Yeah, where's you see Hinton trying to figure out where he wants to go. He can't really do anything. And he's kind of stuck in behind Ortega for the moment.
Look at Alec Martinez. He's just watching this from behind. And I think he's got a car that can win this race.
Yeah, definitely does again, though. He's got to work past some of the strongest cars in the field, being that 13 and the 22, and even Ortega on it, so he looks like he's come to life. And look at the track time there. We were looking at it earlier in the race. It's 117. It's cooled down to 103. Here comes Martinez.
Contact! The 13 gets put in the wall out of turn 4. And damage to the front of the 18 big time. And that was just silly.
Yeah.
He had a car that could have won this race, and he just threw it away because he was too aggressive there.
Yeah, Martinez just kind of threw that out the window. He's going to get passed by a lot of cars. He's got significant damage to that nose.
Yeah, that was... and that is what I think has been holding the 18 back, Vinny, is just... He's got to have discretion. He was going to win this race, I think. And just out of turn 4, got into the back of the 13 and damaged the rear bumper of that car as well. But just for the 18's own sake, he had the quickest car and he just threw it away because he drove too hard out of turn 4.
Now Hinton's going to start to hurt too. He has got some damage to the right front of that tire. He's a bit exposed to the air. Here comes Ronis now.
That car is destroyed, that 13. He's got front and rear damage. So now the battle is between the front 2. It's Ortega. Can he go 2 weeks in a row? But Emerson beginning to pull away now.
And here comes Ronis now to the inside, trying to make that pass for 3rd place. And I think these guys are now going to be super worried with each other. Here comes, it's going to be pretty much between Ortega and Emerson, which is what I would say. But the gap now between 1st and 2nd is 6/10 of a second. So Ortega's starting to lose 2nd place. But this battle for 3rd is absolutely intense. Here comes Lakatos now.
Wow. Ronis is having a great day, but look at Lakatos. Where did he start? All the way back in 23rd spot. He's going for 4th now. And actually make that 3rd to the inside of Ronis on the back straight.
Here he's got to run to the inside. Ronis trying to make the outside work. These cars are pretty even at the moment. And how about Eddie Trejo? We haven't really talked about much of him this season. Here he's in the top 5.
Trejo in the number 11 car. He's looking. Here's Bailey Turner to the inside of Hinton now.
Yeah, Turner got a horrible restart, was not able to go anywhere. He's been able to get around Martinez and Hinton. And those two have found each other yet again, so I'm kind of curious how this is going to end up.
Ronis having a great day running third.
Yeah, indeed, although I kind of want to keep a camera on the 13 and 18. Because part of me feels that 13
they're
is not,
together here, aren't they? Yeah.
That 13 is not going to be happy, and Martinez looks like he's going to make a pass.
Oh, he threw a block there. The 13 did. The 18 is going to go on through. And the hole closed there, but you got to lift at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, the 18 has a lot more to lose than the 13. The 18 was quicker by a long shot than most people on the racetrack after that restart. So there was no need to push the issue at that exact moment. And it hurt both these cars.
It looks like Hinton's just going to race this out. I don't think he's going to do anything, at
No,
least while it's green.
Yeah, I don't think that would be silly to retaliate for that. It didn't hurt the 13 as much as it hurt the 18.
And both these guys got Elliott Butler in behind them. Elliott Butler now look to the inside.
Oh no, there was contact there. Somehow they didn't crash. Close quarters racing. Butler's all over the back of the 18 now.
He was
as they come
actually
up turn
inside
two.
the 18, but it didn't register because Martinez's internet is not looking good, and they see the 13
There we
cutting
go.
off.
There's some head games going on here.
And I think the 13 just wants to
4 wide. We're going
mess
4 wide.
over the 18. Oh boy.
Well, we were 4 wide for a second. Oh man, they're playing with fire here right in front of Elliott Butler, and gosh, this is close.
I feel very bad for Parkman right now.
You don't want to be in this mess right now.
He's in the splash zone, and you see Jeremiah Vincent getting out of the way. Elliott Butler is going to drive around the outside.
There's just so much close quarters racing going on right now. No change up front. Emerson still has it by 0.8 of a second. Hinton back to the inside, and Martinez throws the block that time. These two are heated at each other right now.
I'm amazed they haven't wrecked yet. I'm not missing anything up in the front. Gap is expanded to 0.8 of a second.
We're not pulling the cameras away from this. 16 laps to go. And it's just a traffic jam in turn 1.
And Josiah Vincent not working around Eli Hinton. Here comes also Justin Rodden as well as Parkman and also that in behind.
That's the 25 car, the new guy, Tim Johnny Jr.
Yeah, currently a lap down.
I think the 13 car has lost any pace that he had left. But battle up for third place. Ronis and Bailey Turner. Turner is getting himself back on the podium spot. Can he go and chase down Emerson? He's running out of laps. Only 15 to go.
Yeah, Turner was able to get around Lakatos, and Lakatos is now in behind the 24, and here he is trying to make a pass on Ronis. And this is very intense between these guys. Whoa! Turner almost getting to the door, Ronis.
Off into turn 3. Side by side, one choosing the top, one choosing the bottom. Which lane's going to prevail? The bottom by a long shot there, but now the run on the front straightaway for the 29. He's going to close that gap right back up. 14 to go.
Yeah, but where do you go? Bailey Turner's not going to make it easy. He's going to look on the outside, but can't get there. And now he's opened up the hole for Lakatos. He's got to be careful because Lakatos is hungry right now. He's going to take any chance he can get. So he's got to be very careful with this battle.
No change up front. Emerson still has the lead by a second over Reggie Ortega. And how about this? Just Cinderella story last week at Martinsville. A very popular win. And then running second right now in the closing stages of Texas. Very exciting couple weeks for the 2 car. And he's got a new family member over there. Just the birth of his daughter a couple weeks ago. It's still very exciting. Ronis and Lakatos now fighting. Well, let's head on back to Jordan Ashland and Liam Sheen. This is a fight for 14th spot.
Yeah, this a lot of the battles have kind of faded out on the track, but look at the head. There's Jeff Wright. And how this race went completely the wrong way for him. I think just got cut out on the strategy and just got put in traffic and was never able to get back to the front.
That first caution was really what threw the day away for him and kind of threw the towel after that, I think. Wasn't able to get back around with all the traffic going on. And battle for 4th. Lakatos to the inside of Angelo Ronis, and we'll see if he can make this stick. He's clear. He's going to try to slide up on exit. Oh no! Regan turned right in front of the
wow! Great save!
Somehow doesn't crash the car.
Great save. He's gonna lose some spots. How about Joshua Banks in 6th? Yeah, where did he come from? Oh, Lakatos is loose.
Yeah, he is.
Those tires are hot, and he is going for a slide, and he's gonna save it somehow. Wow.
Let's go back and take a look at it. That was a save of a century. Look at this. Oh my God!
Yeah, try to hold off the 29 of Ronis, wasn't able to do so.
Take another look. This is a crash, folks.
Yeah, indeed. And there you see Lakatos spinning to the inside, but we got a big fight here between Ronis Trejo and Joshua Banks. This is for 4th place.
Let's keep a look at our the green numbers on the ticker. Remember, those are the Dash for Cash drivers. Oh, a block there by the 29th.
And man, have they struggled this race.
Well, they've struggled at points, but they've been good at others. But Martinez is still in the Dash for Cash position over Alex Bell. So all Martinez has to do is finish and has to hope this race goes green, and he gets the cash bonus at the end of the day.
And he's got a decent gap over Alex Bell. It's about 6 seconds between him and Bell, between Martinez and Bell, and is right as well. So here you see this battle continue to go on. Ronis out on the outside. They see Bell in a pit stop.
Yeah, I think someone blew a motor. I heard a motor blow.
I think Jeremiah Vincent. Oh, yeah.
Slip on pit road, but motor blowing for the 8 car. I think that's going to be night over. Mark Emerson out up front by 1.3 seconds. I think he likes this package. At least, he probably won't admit it, but he's very good at it, and he has a win to talk about it after Auto Club a few weeks ago. He's enjoying himself out there. Also Ortega. So it looks like the incumbent winners this year having a good night at Texas.
Andy, they're both having great seasons so far. Ortega's season's been turning around in the recent weeks. He moved up 10 positions in the points. He's only going to move up more after a 2nd place finish tonight if he continues where he is.
Lots of action around Alec Martinez right now. That car is still hurting. I have a hunch it's not quite as damaged as it looks on our end, but either way, he's got cars all behind him here.
Yeah, definitely it's still hurting him.
There's a bunch of lap down cars that are all fighting amongst him here.
Yeah, and I think that those a lot of the guys that got caught out on the last pit stop sequence because we didn't go that didn't happen mid-sequence. So I think guys towards the back got the worst end of that deal. See Justin Rodden, Chris Parkman, and Tim Downey Jr. but all a lap down.
So we have 8 laps to go. Make it 7 now. Angelo Ronis fighting Joshua Banks for 4th. This is a great recovery for Banks. I'm amazed he's even still in this race with how his internet's been tonight.
Well, he's not done yet. He's got to hold it for 6 more laps so he can get 4th or 5th. Ronis now working on the outside. Banks still holding on the inside. Whoa.
And I'm sure Emerson right now is just screaming, guys, get single file. Just hang out.
Yeah,
don't go hard, you know?
Yeah, if he can get another 3 laps in, and you'll get if he gets a caution, then it should finish under caution. I think that's what he's hoping for. Then once he's at 4 to go, I think he knows he's good as far as that's concerned.
He has a 1.7 second lead over Reggie Ortega.
Yeah, and that doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. I think Ortega's been falling off the pace. Although Turner's been catching Ortega by 0.2 a lap, so Turner and Ortega might have a battle here in a few laps.
So this fight behind him, Elliott Butler and Casey Lakatos. This is for 7th.
And Lakatos now looking to the inside. Butler trying to hold that outside lane. Butler, also another driver that's been slowly creeping his way up to the front of the field, hasn't had the best of nights, but it hasn't been the worst of them either, so he'll finish in a solid 8th place if he continues here. And up ahead of them, it looks like Banks is able to get ahead of Ronis, and now Ronis and Trejo are going to sort themselves out.
Ooh, playing with inches there, and Trejo drives to the inside. And you see in the background there, Martinez is a little bit sideways out of turn 2. But for 2nd place, I don't think Reggie Ortega can hang out quite yet. He's got Bailey Turner breathing down his neck.
I don't think he's going to be able to really put on much of a fight here. Turner has got a really fast car right now. I think he should be able to blow by. And you see running a lane lower, and how much time Turner gained there.
He gained a couple car lengths. He's now a 10th back. We're going to be 3 laps to go at the start-finish line. Emerson's 2 seconds up the road. The battle highest up on the racetrack is for 2nd place. And Ortega leaving that lane open, letting air get to the nose of the 24. I would be right down in front of him, taking that air away.
Well, I think he's trying to deter him from passing on the outside. So Ortega's trying to kind of pinch Turner before he gets to him. But here he is now in 1 and 2. He's got to get down on that door.
Get down on the door, else the 24 might be able to get a good run. He's leaving him room, which is the gentlemanly thing to do, but it ain't going to get you win you any wars here. Down the back straight, drag racing nose to tail here.
And Turner's going to have the advantage in 3 and 4 as the corner opens up.
Throttled up, but I think it was a bit too early. Side by side, 2 laps to go. Mark Emerson out up front. The battle is for 2nd. Ortega almost gets cleared by the 24. Can he hang on the outside door?
It's going to be a tough call here. They go into 1. Turner might get him an entry.
You got to get right down on the door. He's got to get closer and fight this harder. And out of turn 2, I think Turner's going to get it. Bailey Turner back up to 2nd. Mark Emerson is out up front by 2.2 seconds. Ortega falls to 3rd.
I think it might end here for that, but meanwhile, out of turn 4, white flag in the air for Mark Emerson.
139 laps, and it all comes down to the final one here at Texas. Everything's bigger, but they didn't necessarily say everything was better, but tonight it was. It's been a spectacular race. One more lap to go, a mile and a half left for Mark Emerson. And if he could win 2 races in the beginning part of the year, I think he'd be smiling after his 2018. It's been a great year so far. A win at Auto Club a few weeks ago. And he's got 2 corners left here at Texas. And to add his name again in round number 5, out of turn 4, Mark Emerson in the 22 Camaro is going to win at Texas.
And will be the first repeat winner this season. Meanwhile, in second, Bailey Turner, and then Ortega in third. Joshua Banks with an outstanding 4th place finish. Ronis 5th, Trejo 6th. Lakatis, great run for him in 7th. Butler 8th. Martinez is going to finish disappointed in 9th. Hinton was able to rebound for a 10th place finish. And I'll round out your top 10 there.
And I'm curious to see if
no, I know what you're getting at, and yeah, I think so.
Are we done here?
Oh, probably
not.
not.
We're not done here. There's been some discussion on track using the fenders, and I think we're done here.
Let's try to get a replay because I think
did we miss something?
I feel like we did.
Oh man! No, this was just the finish here with Alec Martinez. He got to the line, and I think trying to ride the wall. I think. Yeah, I don't think 13 did anything here. He thought about it.
Oh, yeah, I thought he did something too. All right,
well, let's catch back out up front and watch Mark Emerson do his burnouts here on the front straightaway. Well-deserved. The first multi-time winner in 2019, Mark Emerson, is going to go to victory lane after, I would call it a dominant performance.
Oh, yeah, no, again, this is a fantastic season looking for that 22 car. Again, after last season, what happened to him just missing out on the playoffs here, I think if he keeps up this pace, he's going to be a shoo-in for the playoffs this year.
I'm just listening to the sounds of those low RPM motors. They sound so good. But Emerson goes to victory lane here at Texas. Let's take a look at your results here this evening. And, of course, Emerson 2 seconds ahead of Bailey Turner. Reggie Ortega in third. Another great result for the 2 team. It's been a great couple of weeks from Martinsville over to Texas. It's been halfway across the country. It's been good.
I can imagine that Bailey Turner. He's going to feel a little bit disappointed finishing second yet again this season.
And I believe our highest finishing Dash for Cash driver was the 18 of Alec Martinez. Is because it was green to the end fitting. He's going to win the cash bonus. So congratulations, Alec Martinez. After an unfortunate end, what was probably going to be a top 3 finish for the 18 team. But there's a look at your results. We're going to go to break real quick. We'll be right back with interviews. Stay with us. Welcome back live here to SimTV. I'm Kyle Hauer alongside Finney DeCuna. We have your 9th place finisher here tonight, Alec Martinez. And Alec, things did not go the way you wanted them to in the closing laps here at Texas. And obviously, you're a bit frustrated with how things went on, but you had a really quick car and an opportunity to win the race. What happened there with about 15 to go?
Yeah, it's the dumbest move I've made in a long time. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize to Eli because I know I probably screwed his race. So I just I don't know. Stupid. I tried to go outside and there's no room. I should have went inside. I maybe had the chance to catch up to Mark. I think I could have, at least if I was lucky, got up to his bumper and maybe tried to do something, but I don't know. It's just Texas. I mean, caution came out. I was lucky to get it and got up in front, and then pit came in the pit and caution came out. Got the lucky dog starting to climb up the field and choked it. So that seems about like my former self. So
does this race give you confidence, though? I mean, you ran so well tonight, started so deep in the field, and we head to Kansas next week, another mile and a half. Do you feel like you can be competitive at these tracks with this new package? Because it seems like you found a lot of pace this year that you were lacking in the last half of 2018.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas hopefully can be a good track for me. I mean, I usually like Kansas, so as long as I don't choke at that track and screw myself over, I think I should be fine. So it's I don't know.
All right, well, a tough night for you, Alec. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
All right, next we're going to talk to, I think our next guy is going to be Reggie Ortega, and we're going to let Andrew take care of this one. And Andrew, go ahead and take it away. I know you love talking to Reggie.
I love my boy Reggie Ortega, buddy. Man, you started 16th there. You've come home P3. Not everybody, but I should take that back. People write you off. I mean, you had some bad luck last season, but man, you win. You had a rough start to the season. You definitely represented the award from last season. You come home. You won last week. Another podium finish, bro. You started 16th. You come home 3rd. I mean, Ortega's back, bro. And I'm going to tell you better watch out for this guy, man. I mean, how about that run, man? I mean, how did the race go for you overall?
Man, the start, I was just going to save and try to get myself up there, but my car had some misfiring issues, and I had to hold back, and I thought that was going to be the race there, but luckily, because of some of those cautions, I was able to get up there, so I definitely got to give it to those cautions for getting me up there. I raced really hard on Mark on the finishing laps there, and my car just got really tight, and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's struggling with that. I mean, the class of the field seemed to be Turner all race. I mean, when he was catching up to you, I mean, everybody wants the race everybody as hard as they can there. I mean, what's going through your head there when you got somebody coming up on you that fast? Are you thinking points? Are you thinking I'm going to race this guy as hard as I can? I mean, what's going through your head there when you got someone coming up on you there?
As a racer, you want to race hard and you want to defend your position, but to be smart, it was racing for the points right there. And I knew Bailey was fast. I knew he was coming. My car was tight, and I had nothing to do but just let him go.
Well, you come home P3, buddy. I'm so damn proud of you, man. I love you so damn much. Is there anybody you want to thank for this before we throw it away?
Like I say, I definitely got to thank you, Andrew, for this league, SimTV for what they do as far as broadcasting, and my guys in Vincent Motorsports. They're such a great crew, like I say every single time, and got to give it to Hunt Motorsports again, definitely for those engines. They obviously it showed, 1-2 finish for them, and Hunting engines right behind them.
Yeah, definitely. Hutton Motorsports, definitely class the field. I'm going to, again, congratulations on 3rd place. And somebody's caught up with the 2nd place winner, Turner, class of the field. Take it away, boys.
All right, and with Reggie Ortega's finish tonight, it's going to be a second, or actually, excuse me, 6 spots gained in the point standings for him. First, we're going to talk to Angelo Ronas, so we haven't talked to Angelo in quite some time, but a 5th place finish for the 29 car tonight. Angelo, a great run for you. It was looking like it might even be better than that, but some drama and some great racing in the closing stages of the race, but a top 5. Walk us through the closing stages of that race.
Yeah, with this race, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, started, I think, 27th or so, and just a lot of luck went my way. So, yeah, and then near the end, I was racing hard with Casey. It was definitely a good battle, but ended up making contact with him, so I apologize for that, because it could have been just me and him battling for that last top 5 position.
What was the package like out there tonight? It seems like this is the first time we've really seen this package race as NASCAR kind of intended it. It seemed like the racing tonight was a lot more competitive than we've seen the last few weeks. What did it feel like from behind the cockpit?
From my perspective, there was more time off of the throttle than I expected. Like, I had to play with it a lot more after about 5 or 6 laps, so that definitely came into play.
All right, well, a great top 5 finish for the 29. Angela, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you next week. Keep the momentum going.
Thanks, man.
All right, now we're going to talk to Bailey Turner, who finished 2nd tonight. Bailey, I know you wanted 1 spot better. It was kind of an up-and-down night with the strategy and the way the cautions were falling, but still, a 2nd place is a great result for you. Talk to us.
Yeah, I feel like that one was definitely one that got away. So after I got around Mark for the lead, I got in clean air and I just took off. I mean, when I was stuck behind anybody else, the dirty air is just so bad. It makes the car too tight, and you really have to start trying to decide what lane you want to run and trying to get the nose in some clean air and just saving the tires. And I think I was about to cycle out with about a 5-second lead. And then the caution came out, and I think I ended up going all the way back to 8th, drove up and caught Alec, but same thing, dirty air, and I using up my tires just to get to him. And then that last pit cycle right there, I think the whole race I tried to stick to the strategy of about 35 laps. And Alec pitted, and I decided to stay out for 1 more lap just to have a little bit fresher tires. And when I cycled through, I came out right in front of him, and then he just passed me going into 3, and then the caution came out. So kind of screwed me tonight, but I mean, I'm just happy I drove back up to 2nd. I want to apologize to anybody I dive bombed on the way up through the field trying to get back up to 2nd. I was driving a little pissed off just because I felt like that one got away from me.
All right, Bailey. Well, another 1.5 miles next week at Kansas Speedway. We'll see if you can get 1 spot better later. We'll see you. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Now we're finally going to talk to winner Mark Emerson, the 2nd win on the season for the 22 team. Mark, it was not an easy one tonight. Lots of battling up and down the field and cautions inverting the strategies a lot, but you came out on top for the 2nd time this season. Walk us through tonight. It was kind of a crazy one.
It was those cautions just had to come out right during the pit cycle, so it kind of screwed everybody up and threw everybody out. Bailey was going to beat me that race for sure, and Alec was going to beat me in that race for sure, but they both had some pretty bad luck with those cautions, and then Alec got into the wall later on in that race, so I kind of slowed him down. Other than that, it was pretty much just me, those other 2, and then Jeff Wright as well.
I was talking to a couple of the other guys and was curious about how the racing was tonight, because from our perspective, it seemed like this was a really different race than we've seen with this new package. It almost looked like it was racing as NASCAR intended it. It seemed like passing was a little bit easier tonight. You could use different lanes, and it just seemed like the racing was closer, more competitive in general. Is that the consensus you got? I know you had to pass the field a couple times.
Yeah, I did do a lot of passing in that race, especially after that first caution, but it felt pretty good to pass. It wasn't that difficult. The car wasn't just super stupid tight on exit like Auto Club was. Yeah, it just felt really nice. I think that was in part to Andrew and David making that setup nice and loose on exit.
2 wins in 5 races for the 22 team. Mark, thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week. We'll hope you can get another one.
See you there.
What a crazy race, Finian, from start to finish. We only had 2 cautions the whole night for 140 laps. That's really good. That's back to form for outsiders. We had a couple weeks of a few more cautions than we're used to, but I mean, some great racing all around, and kind of a tragedy there with the 18 of Alec Martinez not getting the finish he probably deserved tonight. ends up coming home 9th. Eli Hinton got caught up in that, ended up finishing 10th. But Reggie Ortega, this guy is on a charge, up 6 spots just tonight alone in the point standings.
Yeah, indeed. And just a quick talk about the points that were updated. Unfortunately, we can't display it on the screen, but I'll mention to you verbally. Mark Emerson is taking away the lead of the points from Jeff Wright by a huge margin, 17 points separating both of them. So Emerson's got a good cushion back to second place. And Ortega, we're talking, moved up 6 spots. He's in 12th. And that's very key because remember, it's the top 8 in the points, and there's no winning to get in this series. It's purely off the points, so he's only 4 places back. And I was looking at how far he was back in the points. He was in 28th 2 races ago.
That's insane.
Yeah.
28th to 12th in 2 races.
And after having a win and a second place finish to move them all the way up the order, he's 11 points out of 8th place. So he's having a really good turnaround to a season.
And Mark Emerson, you mentioned his climb up to a 17-point lead. That's also helped by the fact that second place driver, the 48 of Jeff Wright, he's second in the championship. He finished 13th tonight after that first caution, just could never recover, so didn't really have a great result here. Other drivers that were surprised about a little bit, Jordan Ashland in the 27, 15th place for him. Clifton Cockrell, we've seen him run a little bit better, but AJ Stravato in the 9-car Finian last season was running a lot better. Not quite sure what's going on with the 9 camp, but it seems like he and the 2-car have kind of switched their running orders after the 2018.
Yeah, indeed. He's really struggled this season. Hopefully he can get a turnaround. But I'm with you. I don't understand what... Well, hopefully he can figure out what's the problem in these next few weeks. But yeah, it's surprising not seeing him up in the order.
And then the Vincent brothers, Josiah and Jeremiah, both getting caught up. Josiah having electrical problems and Jeremiah getting caught up in a wreck. So both the Vincent guys finishing way down in 24th and 25th. Not great results for them either. But that's going to do it for here tonight. We'll see you on... not tomorrow night. We're off tomorrow. Monday night is going to be the Talladega Clash for the 3-wide Race Kings Cup Series. They're starting a year-long season with us on Monday. It runs all the way through November. So it's quite a long season that we've got with 3-wide. So don't miss their first non-points event on Monday night, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is already available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SimTV Broadcasting. And you're already there if you're watching this right now. What else is coming up on Tuesday? It's the Fuel Host Venom Cup Series, and they are going to be at Chicagoland this week. And then Wednesday, I think we're off this Wednesday, but Thursday, Scars Ferrari Challenge heads to Brands Hatch. And then Friday, VRL is back at Indianapolis. So that's the next week of what's coming up here on Sim TV. We'll see you all. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday.